as a kid. I'm just kidding.
Hello, Mr. Jono Star. How you doing?
I'm doing good.
So
You can be in the interview too, bro. That's why I told you to do the interview. This guy.
So can you please tell us about how you thought about this concept for this show?
The film was.
My bad, sir. The film.
I came up with the film a long time ago. When I first got the call to do a fashion show for the school, I had a bunch of ideas. I was like, oh, I do a film, I do a video, because they wanted me to do like a video with the fashion show. So when they hit me up, they were like, it was my teacher. She said, come back so you can be a teacher. I was supposed to teach for a little bit, but I came in with like this piece I made. It was that blanket one that has the bear on it. I made that, and she says, oh, we need to do a fashion show. So I was like, okay, we'll do a fashion show. So we go do the fashion show. Like, I'm sewing on my pieces, and she says, hey, I want you to do like virtual host. So pretty much like do pre-recorded messages, and then we'll play it for like people, so you're like technically the host. And then she said do the so she said do the she's like, you can add video, whatever, you can have video on top. So I'm like, I'm really good at doing videos. So I'm like, okay, I can have the video playing while I do my fashion show. So I just edited a quick little video, whatever, but I always had the idea in mind, like, man, it would be cool if I did like this as a film. So everything that you've seen in the film was exactly how the show went. I mean, you were there, you know, you saw the cutting everything off and everything.
So what was the most difficult part about doing this film?
Oh, man. Technically not even really done yet, but I want to say the most difficult part is the fashion show part. Even though it's really easy, because all you gotta do is set up the cameras and they just have to walk. It's because like as you saw Eric, he wore his outfit inside out, that we gotta re-record that. That was like dang, it's tough. And then plus it's tough for me because I'm like, I'm being recorded and there's people in the room. That's why like when I was doing the rapping part, I'm like, man, I need these people out of here. I feel so embarrassed to be on camera. So I was like, y'all hear me? All right, y'all gotta go. And then when I turned around, I was like, all right, let me start rapping. I was supposed to start rapping when the Travis Scott one came on, but I was so nervous, but I was just swaying, and I was like, it would be cool if I was just like this. And then when the Kendrick Lamar song started, I was supposed to rap, but I was too busy crying on the camera. So then I was like, all right, now I gotta start rapping.
Can you please explain to us, in that moment you started crying, why did you start crying?
To be honest, because the mannequin was my uncle. He passed a while back ago. And every time we did a show, every time I saw him while we were doing the show, it always made me cry, because I was like, man, I finally, like, it's like he's here in the show, right? So I think that's when most people start, like, because they were watching like right here through the door, so they were like, oh, is that why he's crying? But that wasn't the reason why I started crying. I was just right there, and I started tearing up when I saw, like, I was right here in the corner, so I saw the people walk, I saw the people right here, and I saw the people doing like the picture part, and I started tearing up. I'm like, man, I could finally finish this damn film. It's taking so long to do. We did so many times to try to do it. Last time you came by, it didn't work out. And then this time when it was going good, I was like, this is good. I'm happy I could finally, because this film was supposed to be like, if I ever died, like if I died tomorrow, this film would be like my thing. Like people can look back and like my cool film, like something I leave behind. So I was like, man, this is going really good. And then I looked through my uncle and I was like, oh man, then that's when it got worse. I started crying even more. And then, yeah, and then it started getting tough, because the more I was like, hey man, you gotta start rapping. I'm like, I can't, because I felt like I was like tearing up, and I was looking, I was like, and then I have to come back with a bit. I have to get all energetic. I'm like, I gotta wait until I feel good. So then when I picked him up, and then like I cleared my face and everything, and then I started to stop crying too, because when he was alive, he never liked when people would cry. Like it was about him. Like if he got into a car accident, if he got shot or something, he like, if people like if someone, oh man, it's good that you're okay. He's like, hey, don't do that. Don't cry in front of me. Mm-hmm. So he never liked when people cry. So when I started crying, I was like, all right, I gotta stop crying. Even at his funeral, like people were crying, and he says, and my dad was right there. You know, this is his brother. He's like, don't cry. He didn't like when people cry. So I stopped crying. I tried to stop crying right there. So as soon as y'all see me pick him up and I go like that, I'm like, all right, this is it. I'm done crying. So I clean myself up, start rapping, and then yeah, it was emotional for me, because I was like, I can finally have this film. Well, hopefully I can finally have this film, have something to leave behind, show people that I'm a real designer, because I've been telling people all the time, oh, I design clothes, you don't even know what I have, and then I don't have nothing to show, but now I have this. And then it's like, finally I can just get rid of this model stone, because I want to get the next film. So this one, it was real emotional to finally get it done.
What is the plan for the next thing you're going to be doing? What is Jono Star going to be doing next?
So with this film, it is called Posthumous Rebirth. pretty much meaning posthumous, like after they die, and then rebirth is like, rebirth. So it's like this film is number 0. Mm-hmm. So then when you watch, I have like 8 of them in total. So when you watch all 8, 0 introduces number 1, and then number 8 introduces number 0. So it's like when you watch all of them together, it's like a never-ending cycle. So people can always watch it. I always had that idea in mind because like you listen to like Mac Miller, the album Circles, and then when you hear it, the whole album like goes full circle because like the very last note is the very first note in the very first song. Same thing with Tyler the Creator, where it starts off with Igor, and then the very last song was how'd it go? It was "Are We Still Friends" or whatever, and then it goes that doom, and then the Igor thing just goes doom. So then like it carries on because I think the last song is like F minor and then it's like E minor. So it's a perfect circle. So I was like, that's what I want to do with this one, have a perfect circle, and then the whole film is just about like a character named Jono Star dying. So it's loosely based on me. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So the next one is going to be number 1, and it's going to be like the introduction, like Jono Star. Just it's pretty much be more based on me because like me chilling in the hood, just chilling in Houston, just trying to design clothes. You know how I do now. Do clothes and everything. So that one's going to be a lot more fun. And then the whole plot of that one's like Jono Star is just trying to become a fashion designer. So he just tries to get signed to like a big label, big brand, and then it ended up happening in the movie. So that's like the next plan.
All right. Well, it was really nice having you.
Hell no, keep talking. I need more shine. Come on, bro. Give me something.
But sir, but it's my lunch break. I got it.
Bro, I'm actually hungry too. Actually, I don't even know what I'm gonna eat. But yeah, I guess that's it. I guess you don't have no other questions. I guess you don't care that much. You know what I mean? But
yeah, I could just ask some bullshit ass questions if you want me to.
I mean, I guess we gotta get everything out. You know what I mean? What are the people gonna want to know?
Shit. What even made you think of the name Jono Star? What is that about?
My real name is Jonathan. That's why I tell people my name is Jonathan Ian Ararete, but my AKA Jono Star. Jono was just a nickname I got actually in high school. That's why I kept it, because I had a friend named Jacoby, and out of nowhere, just one day he said, "Yo, Jono." He just called me Jono out of nowhere, and then after that, everyone just picked up because it was a bunch of Jonathans in the school, so they were like Jono. So that was my nickname. But when I used to draw, I used to write Jono, and then I used to draw a little 5-point star, as a kid does. But when people saw those, they used to pronounce my name, the full name. "Oh, you're Jono the Star," and I was like, bro, that shit sounds so nasty. Don't call me that. And then I forgot who said it. Someone called me Jono Star. And I was like, bro, don't call me that. That's so nasty. But then it got to the point to where people called me that so much where it was like, they'd be like, Jono Star. And I'd be like, huh? And then I responded to it. So I was like, I might as well keep it. That's my nickname. And then I was like, and then I remember I was in my room one day and I said it like 50 times in a row. And I was like, I think that'd be a pretty cool name. Like people would be like, Jono Star. I know that. Jono Star. It'll be a name to follow. So that's why I kept the name.
I mean, what is your main inspiration to keep going? What is driving you to
dying?
Do this at all?
Dying. That's what I tell people all the time. When I feel like I need to work or whatever, I always think about like, what happens if I die tomorrow? What did I leave behind? So that's why I was really excited to get the film shot, because you never know when you can die. I mean, we live in a part of town where you hear gunshots most nights. So you can just be chilling. You can be the nicest kid and just out of nowhere you're just in the wrong place. You get shot, or you get hit in a car accident or something. So you never know what happens when it happens. So that was like my main motivator to keep working so hard, and that's gonna be like the character's motivation in the story too. Because in the story, he's gonna have a disease and everything, so he's gonna die faster. So he's gonna work harder. But in real life, Jono Star, me, is I don't want to die and then leave nothing behind. So that's why I want to have this film done, and then if I die tomorrow, I'll be like, okay, well, at least I got the film out, and then people will be like, oh, this is the greatest movie ever. But also like inspirations like Jean-Michel Basquiat, the painter from the 80s, Alexander McQueen. That's my main inspiration for fashion. He was so cool. He was so different. Mike Tyson. I actually have them all on my phone. Always keep them as my background, so when I'm on my phone, all I see is the inspirations. Let me see if I can. So all you see is the people that inspire me. I got Billie Eilish, Kurt Cobain, Tyler the Creator, Takashi Murakami, Kobe Bryant, Spike Lee, Logic, Kanye West, Dennis Rodman, all those people.
So, speaking of Kanye West, what do you think about the newest controversy concerning Mr. Kanye West?
I don't see nothing wrong. No, I'm just kidding. Man, it's crazy, man. You know me. I bought the Yeezy shirt. I was a huge fan. Then after all that came out, I was like, oh, come on, man. you can't do this to me, man. I just became like, I always been a huge Kanye fan, so when it happened, I was like, maybe he can come back, maybe he can save something. He screwed himself over, but hopefully he comes back. I don't know, maybe he'll believe in Jesus or something again, and then he'll be like, yo, I got the Jesus Walks #2, and he'll start, Jesus, and you know what I mean? He'll probably drop something crazy. But Kanye, it sucks because he's always been a real creative guy. Like, he's always been an inspiration for me because, like, you see the clothes I make is always real different from what you see from like Louis Vuitton or like the big brands, and then what you see like what people make as like the normality. So I always like Kanye because he was always different. Because most people don't know, like, before he started rapping, he was the guy who made the beats and he produced music. And then they're like, he's like, hey, I want to be a rapper. And they're like, no, you can't do that. Becomes a rapper. And then when he rapped about what he liked. So he was like a Christian. So he rapped about Jesus. So he had Jesus Walks. That song is so hard. I don't even believe in Jesus. But when I hear it, I'm like, God, show me the way. I'm like, man, this is so hard. But then, like, he was always so different in a game where it was always like, you have to be gangster. You got to be tough. You got to wear a jersey. But he was wearing pink polos and like Nikes and stuff. So I always thought he's always going to be like a creative person in art and in music. I mean, think about it. Everything they said he couldn't do, he did. You can't be a rapper. Became a rapper. Oh, you can't be an influence in fashion. Has Yeezy, one of the biggest shoes in the world, you know. And then, so he was always an inspiration because even he talks about, he's like, man, we only have like 100 years on this earth. Might as well do everything you can. I'm like, yeah, that's smart. You know what I mean?
I mean, what?
You sure you don't want to take a C, bro? That's why I have it like that. You can take a C, bro. And do that.
Oh, I'm just the background guy. I don't get paid for that, sir.
Bro, y'all know who he is. We just talked about it. It's Dustin Pierre, world famous.
I don't know who you are, sir.
All right, cool.
I'm just here to do an interview, sir.
All right.
So, is there anybody or anything you would like to shout out or give thanks to? Maybe Kanye or.
Yeah, sure. I thank Kanye for being himself. All the people that I see as inspirations, I mean, they always inspire me. Like I say, Mike Tyson's an inspiration, but like I do fashion, so people be like, how the heck is he inspiration? But like, I always take like what they had and then I put it into what I have. So like Mike Tyson, for example, when he was a boxer, he was just a dominant, knocking people out. I want to do that, but in aspects of fashion. So like if someone was like, yo, I want to design something better than him, I'll be like, nah, Mike Tyson, knock you out with the clothing. You can't be better than me. Mm-hmm. And then like Alexander McQueen, he was always the best designer and he was always different. He always mixed he was like the first guy to mix things together. Like there's a famous show, like he had a woman in a white dress, and then he had two robots that like paint cars, and he had them spray paint on her dress. Like he was the first guy to like really be real different. So I think that he inspires me to be different in a way, like make the best clothes and also blend everything together. And then like Dennis Rodman, he was always different. I mean, he was like the first guy to dye his hair and wear piercings, and he looked like, at the time, like everyone was like, oh, he must be gay, but he just dressed like himself, so he was always different. So that was always an inspiration. And then like he just put the fist up, y'all. I don't know how I feel about that. Billie Eilish, like she's an inspiration, like the way she dresses, like she's like the first famous person to like publicly just wear like bootleg clothes, just because it matches perfectly with her outfits. Kurt Cobain, like he was like 27, and then he changed all of like rock music, and I'm like, well, I gotta be like, if I die at 27, I gotta be able to change all the fashion, you know. And then
interrupting your interview.
No, you're good. Yeah.
I do agree with you with Billie Eilish. It's a very weird change, because if you see her during the years, it starts off with her kind of in a punk rock kind of look, and now she's going back to her original black hair. She has. Yeah. She looks more. I think, and it shows with her music as well. And I do agree with all the people that you're saying. They always have an influence on a lot of people. Especially with Kanye, with people like you and kids and everything growing up,
wearing the big clothes and everything.
It's very inspirational. I could tell during the fashion show that a lot of people were very excited to wear stuff that you were wearing. They were saying that it was very strange, but they liked how strange it was. They liked how it fit. They liked how everything combined together. And that's what I feel like is special about this show, in my opinion.
I think so too, because like how we showed everyone, like how we had all three cameras playing together showing the film, like people would be like, yo, that's cool, like they get a better idea. But that was like the whole point. Like when we first started shooting, like people were confused, they didn't know where to walk, they didn't know what to do. But like this time, like since they were like kids I worked with for a long time, I was like, okay, I can direct them a little better. But this time it went well. Like, but even though when the guy ripped everything. Like, even though there's still a lot of bloopers and everything that happened in the show, but it went good. Hopefully it looks good on camera, and if it doesn't, I'll make it work because I can't wait anymore. This is releasing on my birthday, so I need to get it out. But yeah, I think it's cool because it's so different from what other people see. Like, when I think people see it, they're gonna see more than just the clothes. I feel like when they watch it, they're gonna forget about the clothes for a second and just look at the whole scenery, and then they're gonna be like, "Hold on, I need to watch that one more time." I think in my eyes, I hope it's like it stands the test of time where people are like, "Yo," like if I like 50 years old and people are like, "Yo, you want to get into fashion? I don't know if you ever seen this show. It was from Jono Star." Like that's how I am. Like with McQueen, I was like, "So you want to get into fashion?" Yeah. And I'm like, "Who's your favorite designer?" "Oh, I like Alexander McQueen." I was like, "What's your favorite show?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm not really sure." I'm like, "Have you seen this one from 1990?" You know what I mean? So hopefully it's like that where people will try to share it. You know what I mean? Where it's like I think it'll be good for like if you want to see a good fashion show, like a different one, you can watch mine. If you want to see how to do like a film or something, I feel like a lot of people can come to it and just get like inspiration from it.
Okay, what is? Again, you didn't say who would shout out. So
That's
you, like,
what, yeah.
Talk about, bro. You don't shout out to your parents, bro.
I gotta shout mom and dad for giving birth to me and not aborting me. You know, that's real though. I don't know why y'all looking at me like, "Oh, he can't say that." What are you gonna do about it? It's a video. I'm just kidding. No.
Dislike the video? I won't be able to see.
Wait, what?
I say, what are they gonna do? Dislike the video?
Yeah, what are you gonna do? Dislike the video?
I can't see
yeah, we
it,
can't
bro.
see dislikes no more. But if you dislike it, I'm sorry. I was just joking. But yeah, mom and dad, they were always important because when I first started doing the show, I could tell they were like, "You sure you can design clothes?" Because it was a wacky style, so I knew they were like a little like, "You can do it, son," but also like, "You sure you can do it? You sure you know what you're doing?" So I knew they were like a little skeptical, but they're still my parents, so they were like, "You can do it. I believe in you," and you know what I mean, in a way like they were nervous, but it went well, you know. So shout out mom and dad for actually believing me. But my mom, she used to tell every time I was working on something, she's like, "I don't know, son. You know, dreams don't pay the bills. You know what I mean?" So I was like, "Yeah, it's true." So it was always them to kind of make me like, "Man, I really got to make sure this looks really good," so then they can just leave me alone and be like my dad, he's a little more cool with it. Like when I do something, he's like, "Okay, that's cool, yeah." But my mom, she's like a little more, "That's cool, but you know, you're not gonna, you know what I mean? You can't just quit your job and just leave everything and just start doing this." But you know, they always like it. My sister, she always does good. Leilani, she always like, she tries too much, man. She no, I'm just kidding. She likes a lot of the clothes. She's starting to get into fashion because I started getting into fashion, so that's cool. Her stuff's a little better than mine though, so we're gonna have to edit that out. I ain't gonna let her know that. But no, her stuff is real cool, so like it's cool to see like how she kind of picks up on my style, but she also has her style, so it's always gonna be a little better, cooler than mine. But yeah, shout out to mom, dad, and my sister. I would shout out my other sister, May, but she didn't even come to the first fashion show. The only people who came to the first fashion show was mom, dad, my sister, and you. You're the only...
I wasn't there.
Well, Dustin Pierre came to the show. He came to the show. He was a real one. He walked all the way from his house to the show. He was the realest one, bro. You know what's crazy? We were recording the rehearsal of the show the day before the real official fashion show, and I sent him like the clips of us recording. He calls me. I hear him, "Yo, bro, did they start already?" And I was like, "What are you talking about?" He's like, "The show started." I'm like, "The show's not till tomorrow." He's like, "Oh, okay, bet." And he walks home. Dude, he was gonna walk twice. If it was me and I walked the first time and it wasn't even happening, I probably wouldn't walk the second time. He's the realist. He came to go just to show support. I hit like 30 people up. Only 4 of them came to see me, and 275 people were in the audience. What kind of math is that? You know what I mean? But it's all good. I still got love for everybody. But shout out mostly Dustin Pierre, Leilani, my mom and dad. And most importantly, I got to give the shout out to Miss Green. She's the only reason why I'm doing this. I tell people all the time that she changed my life because if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't do fashion design. Like when she was teaching me, it was all through Zoom. So like we were just learning how to hand sew and like little stuff. And then it got to a point where it was like, man, I probably won't make it in fashion. I probably just should quit and then work at like Home Depot. Like that's what I was looking at. And then she called me. She said, "Hey, you should stop by. You should probably become a teacher, learn a little bit." I'm like, "Yeah, that's cool." So then I was just working for a little bit. We went over there. She saw the sweater, and then she said, "We need to do a fashion show." We did the fashion show, and then after that, it became solidified that I'm doing fashion design. So Miss Green, thank you so much. You mean so much to me. I don't know if I tell you enough or if you don't believe me or not. you really did change my life. So if anybody out there who's angry that I'm doing better than you in life, don't blame me, blame Miss Green, because I would have gave up. But she's the reason why I'm the greatest ever, you know what I mean? So, that's how it goes, you know what I'm saying?
Thank you for showing up, sorry.
Oh, my man. That was a perfect one, you know what I mean? All right, I guess we're good. Guess we're done recording.